Adaora feared men more than failure, and no one knew why, until her story began to unfold. Welcome to Tales by Ebony Black, the home of emotional African stories. Adaora had always believed that certain encounters in life were not accidents. Some meetings came like whispers, soft, almost unnoticed, while others arrived like thunder, shaking the very ground beneath one's convictions. She did not yet know which category Tobachukwu belonged to. All she knew was that the first time she saw him, she was not looking for him at all. That morning, the sun hung lazily over the campus, spreading its golden light across the narrow walkways that wound between lecture halls and hostels. Adaora adjusted the strap of her bag on her shoulder as she made her way to class, her mind already rehearsing the points she hoped to understand better in the lecture. She walked with purpose, as always, measured steps, eyes forward, thoughts disciplined. Tobachukwu saw her then. He had been standing near the mechanical engineering block, laughing with two of his course mates, when his eyes caught a movement that made him pause mid-sentence. There was nothing loud about her presence, no exaggerated gestures, no desperate attempt to be noticed. Yet something about her calm confidence drew him in. The way she walked, the way her head was held, the quiet dignity that seemed to surround her like a shield. "Who is that?" he asked absent-mindedly. His friends followed his gaze. One shrugged, another smiled knowingly. "You don't know her. That's Adaora. She's serious, very serious." Tobachukwu watched her until she disappeared into the crowd of students. Something stirred within him, admiration mixed with curiosity. He had seen many beautiful girls on campus, but this one felt different, and different to him was dangerous in the most irresistible way. A few days later, Adaora was in her hostel room arranging her books when a knock came at the door. She opened it to find Chinenye, one of her friends, standing there with excitement written all over her face. "Ada, are you busy this evening?" Chinenye asked. Adaora hesitated. "That depends. What's up?" "There's a students' town meeting today. People from our place, Eziagu. We meet every Friday. It will be good for you to come." Adaora sighed inwardly. Town meetings were not her favorite. Too much noise, too many distractions, too little substance. "I don't know, Chi. I have a lot to read." Chinenye stepped inside, closing the door behind her. "Please now, it's not every day. Besides, you know we're both from Eziagu. You hardly attend anything social. Just try." Adaora looked at her friend's hopeful face. She respected Chinenye, and she valued their shared roots. After a long moment of internal debate, after convincing herself that attending one meeting would not derail her entire life, she nodded. "All right, just this once," Chinenye squealed. "Yes, you won't regret it." Adaora did not know that this single decision would set in motion a chain of events she was not prepared for. The meeting hall buzzed with conversation as students greeted one another in familiar dialects. Adaora sat quietly beside Chinenye, observing more than participating. And then, as if fate had rehearsed the moment carefully, Tobechukwu walked in. Their eyes met, briefly, unintentionally. He recognized her immediately. The girl from the walkway. His heart skipped in a way he hadn't felt in a long time. She, on the other hand, barely reacted. If she noticed him at all, she did not show it. After the meeting, as students dispersed in clusters, Tobachukwu saw his chance. He followed at a respectful distance, gathering courage. Just as Adaora and Chinenye parted ways, he approached. "Adaora?" he called softly. She turned, surprised. "Yes?" "My name is Tobechukwu," he began. "I just wanted to say hello." She nodded politely, her expression unreadable. "Hello." He smiled, hoping for more, but she had already begun to walk away. That night marked the beginning of a pattern. Every Friday after the town meeting, Tobechukwu would try to talk to her, And every Friday, Adaora would ignore him, sometimes subtly, sometimes directly. She did not owe him her attention, and she knew it. To Tobichukwu, however, her rejection only deepened his resolve. Weeks passed. Persistence wore thin on both sides, on his pride and on her patience. One evening, perhaps tired of the chase, or perhaps curious despite herself, Adaora finally stopped. "What do you want?" she asked calmly. Tobichukwu exhaled, relieved. "Just a chance to talk." She crossed her arms. "Talk. My name is Tobichukwu, final year, mechanical engineering." She studied him for a moment, then replied, "Adaora, my department is—" "I know," he interrupted quickly, then stopped himself. "I mean, I heard." She raised an eyebrow but continued. That night they talked, briefly, formally, cautiously. Nothing romantic, nothing deep, just two people exchanging identities. And that, she thought, was the end of it. She was wrong. Weeks later, Tobichukwu found her again. "Adaora," he said, voice earnest. "I like you, a lot." She held up her hand. "Stop," he blinked. "I am used to romantic statements," she continued coolly. "If that's all you have to say, you can bounce. If there's something meaningful, something different, then speak. Otherwise, don't waste my time." The words stung, but Tobichukwu did not retreat. Instead, he adjusted his approach. He talked about his coursework, his struggles in final year, his love for God, his desire to be better. Still, Adaora kept him at arm's length. She trusted no man. Experience had taught her caution was not cruelty, it was survival. Every Thursday, Adaora attended Holy Hour. It was sacred to her, a time of silence, reflection, and surrender. Unknown to her, Tobichukwu began to follow. At first, he simply sat in the back pew, watching her kneel in prayer. Then one day, moved by something deeper than attraction, he joined the choir. That was when he discovered his voice. Baritone bass, rich, deep, powerful. Soon he was leading the bass section while Adaora led the soprano. Their voices intertwined high and low, creating harmonies that stirred hearts. People noticed, whispers began, admiration followed. Many female choristers developed crushes on Tobichukwu. He became popular, respected, desired. Adaora noticed but remained unmoved. She liked him for one reason only. He was a good singer. Nothing more. One evening after practice, Tobichukwu offered to take her out. "No," she replied instantly. He persisted. She refused again. Finally, after much persuasion, she agreed, but only because he talked about academics, God, and the choir. Those were her safe spaces. They talked. They flowed. But when he invited her to his house, she declined. Her mind filled with warnings, stories her brother's friends had told, stories of drugged drinks, of girls punished for being hard to get. She did not trust him. One Saturday, boredom crept in like an unwelcome guest. Against her better judgment, Adaora decided to visit Tobichukwu, unannounced. When he opened the door, surprise and excitement lit up his face. He offered her a seat. Then he brought out a bottle of Fanta. Her heart raced. "No," she said quickly. He insisted. She refused. Fear wrapped tightly around her chest. Anger rose. "Come and see me off," she snapped, standing up. "Suits yourself," he replied, hurt evident in his voice. As he stood to follow her, the bottle slipped. It shattered. Glass flew. Blood spilled. They stared in silence, shock freezing them in place. How did it break? Why now? Neither could explain it. And in that moment of confusion, something unspoken passed between them. Fear, destiny, warning. Something had intervened. Something unseen. Something powerful. To be continued. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.